Guys, today I'm whipping this lovely concoction which is known as brightening aloe vera face cream. So in this recipe I have used raw aloe vera with some lactic acid, some hydrating and repairing niacinamide, along with one of my favorite active ingredient, which is hyaluronic acid. So I have used 1% of hyaluronic acid to boost its hydrating benefits along with many other humectants. And this particular recipe has a very nice non-greasy, non-tacky feel on the skin. So what are you waiting for? Let's get making. So to make this amazingly decadent recipe, we require 46 grams of distilled water, 10% of aloe vera pulp. If you don't have aloe vera pulp, you can use aloe vera powder dispersed in 9% of water. So all you need to do is add 1% of aloe vera powder and 9% of water into this current recipe. Then we have 2% lactic acid. Then we have 1% hyaluronic acid for hydration. Lactic acid will provide some brightening benefits. Now for some healing properties, we are going to use 4% of niacinamide. Then 15% glycerin for its amazing moisturizing benefits. It is the best and the most economical humectant you will find in the market. Then we have some propanediol. So this is 5% of propanediol. Propanediol is also a very nice humectant, as well as it gives a very nice slip and glide to your formulation. Then we have sodium lactate. So we are using 5% of sodium lactate in this recipe. That's about it for our water soluble ingredients. Then moving forward to our oil phase ingredients, we have some grapeseed oil. So this is 3% of grapeseed oil, 3% of capryl triglycerides, because it is very lightweight and I want this moisturizer to be really easy and non-tacky when applied, especially in summers. Therefore, I'm using capryl triglyceride. Then our emulsifier is Lotion Pro. So I bought this from Chemical Cocktails. They had sent me a sample. I have used that sample completely. Then I went ahead and bought this particular emulsifier. It is a very nice emulsifier. So Chemical Cocktails sell this under the name of Insta Lotion, but let's call it the INCI of this particular emulsifier is Glyceryl Stearate and PEG 100 Stearate. So this actually does not change the texture, the thickness or the viscosity of your product. It just emulsifies them. So whatever thickener or rheology modifier you add in your formulation will have the exact thickness or consistency. So here I'm using Sepimax Zen. This is again something which I bought from Chemical Cocktails. Also, these two ingredients are also available on my website, that is thatskingeek.com. You can go to the section shop and you can avail these two. And yeah, so Sepimax Zen is a gelling agent which actually should go in our water phase, but I'm going to use it in my heated oil phase because this will help me to easily disperse my Sepimax Zen evenly in my formulation. So I'm beginning with my water soluble ingredients. So here I have my distilled water. This is 46.5% of distilled water, to which I'm adding my raw aloe vera pulp. So this is 10% of aloe vera pulp which goes in my distilled water. If you want to see how I actually made this aloe vera pulp or how I extracted it from my aloe vera plant, you can check out the brightening aloe face wash video. I'll add the link in the description box below. To this, I'm going to add my 2% of lactic acid. So lactic acid is a really nice AHA which actually helps in brightening your skin, simultaneously it hydrates your skin. Then I'm going to add 1% of hyaluronic acid. So this is my hyaluronic acid, and this was a gift from Chemical Cocktails. I just love them. Then 4% of niacinamide. So hyaluronic acid and niacinamide are the best actives I have ever came across. They actually help in hydrating and repairing your skin, and these two are really easily available and water soluble. Then next I have 15% of glycerin. So to be very honest, I use glycerin because it is very economical and it has a very nice hydrating and humectant benefits on the skin. Now moving forward, I have 5% of propanediol 1,3. Again an humectant. Last but not the least, in my water phase is 5% of sodium lactate. It is a salt of lactic acid, so it gives a brightening effect. Simultaneously, it works as a humectant. I'm going to give this aside. If you want, you can double boil it, but I am not going to do it right now. First, I'm going to move forward to my heated oil phase. So I have a borosilicate beaker here. I'm going to begin with my emulsifier, which is PEG 100 Stearate and Glyceryl Stearate, also known as Insta Lotion, commonly known as Lotion Pro. Then I'm going to add my gelling agent here, which is sepimax Zen, 0.5% of sepimax Zen. So you have to make sure you are using an accurate weighing scale. Then some grapeseed oil. So this grapeseed oil is actually very lightweight and non-sticky. It goes into the skin very nicely. To this I'm going to add some capryl triglycerides. So the ratio of grapeseed oil and capryl triglyceride is 3% and 3%. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two in a double boiler. So my emulsifier and my heated oil phase has been melted. The little chunks you see here, these are actually my sepimax Zen, which is not oil soluble. They are actually water soluble, but I have added it in my oil phase so that it will hydrate better. If you see here, my hyaluronic acid has started dispersing, but it has started hydrating as well. Therefore, it has formed certain chunks. So you'll have to give it some time, maybe at least 24 hours for it to hydrate completely. Then it will create a very nice gel sort of a texture. But right now I'm going to add my heated water phase to my heated oil phase. Always remember to do it in this sequence only. Don't do it the other way around. It would be a mess to clean. And I have taken out my emulsion blender. So this is Agaro. This has 800 watts of motor, which is very good if you want to create perfect emulsions. I'm going to add my water phase in, scoop out the excess. I'm going to give it a really nice hand mix. After 10-15 minutes of blending and hand blending, I think this has finally reached a consistency where we can pack it up and add our cool down ingredients. So this looks really nice. It feels really nice. So this is still going to hydrate since it has hyaluronic acid in it. So I'm going to give it some time. But I'm going to leave it like this overnight before packaging, but I'm going to add all the cool down ingredients in this. Now to this I'm going to add 1% of vitamin E oil. So now it's been about 5 hours. I'm going to unpack this. I'm going to see the texture, and then I'm going to pipe this, put it in this 150 ml jar. So I'm going to remove the cling film. I'm going to check the texture. The consistency is pretty good. This is something which I had in mind when I was formulating this particular recipe. And yes, so I didn't want it to be very flowy and very liquidy. I wanted it to be thick enough so that it can be applied. A very minimal amount can be spread evenly and very nicely onto the skin. So for some demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a very little bit of it and I'm going to spread, and it feels really amazing. The spreadability, the consistency, it is absolutely non-sticky, non-greasy, still moisturizing and hydrating. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe this or transfer it to my jar. I'm going to package it up. So that's about it. This is our brightening aloe vera face cream, which has a really nice and decadent feel when applied to the skin, which is completely non-sticky and non-greasy. Thank you so much for enrolling and watching this video. If you haven't subscribed That Skin Geek yet, do press on the subscribe button. Also don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get all the reminders and notifications when any new video comes up. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day.